Hello, this is Amy from Dormont Library, and today we're doing a STEAM project, making a kite. Now I'm making one that's smaller than you would normally run because it's easier for you to see it on the camera. But you can make it whatever size you want and experiment with the materials you'd like to use. You'll need 2 sticks or sturdy items to make the frame of the kite. A piece of paper cut out in the shape of the kite, a little wider than you want it, and if you're making a kite shape, you need the edges flattened off so that the paper can be folded. Markers or whatever you want to decorate it with. Scissors, glue, string, of course, and material for the tail. I actually used a grocery bag that I cut up into strips. But that's up to you what you'd like to use. Now the first thing you're going to do is cut a piece of string, and you're going to tie the 2 sticks together at one end. I have one stick that's about 2/3 as long as the other stick, but you can go as little as half, or you can even possibly go as long as 3/4 of the length of the other. Just will change the shape of your kite. Now, right about the middle, or as middle as I can find it, I'm going to tie the string in a knot around both sticks. Now, I'm going to turn it so that the one stick is perpendicular at right angles to the other. And I'm going to use the rest of the string, to wrap around the corners to keep it in place. Try not to let this other end get tied in with the first, because when you get to a point, you're going to want to tie a knot in the string that's left. So, now I have my framework. Cut off the edges of the string. Now I'm going to take my paper, make sure that my kite frame fits on the paper properly. Now I'm going to take another piece of string, and this one's going to be a little longer because I need to outline the shape of the kite with the string. So I'm going to make a little knot near the tip of this one, of the top of the kite. Bring it as close to the top as I can, but not trim off the excess just yet. And then I'm going to put a drop of glue on that edge, on that string and stick. I'm using a gel glue because it's less likely to drip all over the place. Now, try not to cut my string with the scissors. At each edge, and if you are allowed and have the ability, you can actually put a little notch in the stick or whatever you're using as a framework. But you can also just use glue. You just have to be a little more patient with it. bottom. I had thought of actually using straws and stringing it through the straw too, but I figured I'd make a traditional one. As I said, it's your choice what you want to use as a framework. It doesn't have to be little sticks or anything. It doesn't even have to be in a kite shape. There are many shapes of kites. And then, of course, up here, I'm going to cut the string a little farther out. And I'm going to tie another knot at the top, hopefully without destroying all my hard work. Trim the edges, and now I have a general shape of a kite. Now I folded my paper in half. That makes it easy for me to make sure that the stick is straight. The longest stick is straight on the line. So if you see the fold, I can slip the stick right there. Now, I'm going to lay the kite down, the kite frame down, and I'm going to glue along the string on each side so I can fit my paper over the framework. So if you see the glue on, you can see how I have the glue on over the string and on either side of it. I'm going to take the paper and fold it over the string. Try to put it as much under the wood framework as I can, just over the string. So you can see here, I have the wood on top of the string, on top of the paper that's folded, but the string underneath. And if you need to, you can trim the paper so that it does what it's supposed to. I'm doing the long edges first, but again, you can do it as you feel comfortable doing it. There. You can see the bottom edges are done. Whoops. It would help. I think I am putting it over one of the sticks. Okay, so now I have the framework. I am always nervous about edges though, so I'm going to take a piece of paper and I'm going to make little covers for the sticks at the top, at the corners of the framework. So I'm taking a little triangle, gluing it, and attaching it to the top here. another corner. To the side. So what I'm doing is I'm reinforcing all the corners of the kite. Just to keep it in place. And finally, the bottom. And now I have all 4 corners reinforced. I am going to need a tail though. So I'm going to take a piece of string. This one's probably about 2 feet long, but it's your choice about how long you want it. I'm going to wrap it around the bottom of the framework at the bottom of the kite. Tie a knot. Trim the excess. And reinforce that with glue. Now I'm going to take my strips of grocery bag and I'm going to tie them in a knot around the string at the bottom. You don't have to put these on, but it's traditional. Anything very thin and light should work. So it doesn't have to be grocery bag. It can be whatever light fabric, even tissue paper if you want. Although if it gets stormy, you may have to replace your kite tail. But this works quite well. And I've got 4 knots on my tail. Now for the last part, you need a place to hold the kite, to fly it. And you really want to see the part that you're going to decorate. And you usually decorate the front, not the part with all the glue and the sticks. So, after you decorate it, which I'm not going to do on camera right now, you're going to take your string that you're going to be using to fly your kite. So you'll want to leave it on its spool. And you're going to take a heavy needle with a wide eye. And thread the needle. Even with a wide eye, it's sometimes difficult. One of the ways you can make it more simple for yourself to thread is to take a small piece of paper and fold it very thinly around the edge of the string. And then use this paper to go through the needle and take it off. Now I am going to actually tie a knot right near the top of the needle because I only need one thread to go through. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke the paper through from the back and from the front. And tie it in a knot. Now I'm going to do it again. In the opposite direction. And tie another knot. Trying not to get my needle in the way. Now I'm going to cut the string close, rescue my needle from the thread, and now I have a base to tie my string to fly my kite. So I'm going to take the string, and I want to put it between the two knots. Or if you only do one of these, you can only do one, and just slide the string through the string that you sewed in the front. And you may want your needle for this too. Because it can be a little frustrating just trying to push a piece of thread through a space, especially with your hands sticky. Come on. Yes, it is being very obstinate. So, again, your thread, and you'll want to put your string through both sets of strings that you tied. And tied in a knot. The short end you want to cut, but not the long end. And now you can fly a kite. Have fun creating and see what you have available for the framework or the paper, or the tail, or the string you use, or the decorations you do. Even the design you make your kite. It's all up to you. Have fun creating and have fun flying them. Have a great day.